Juliette is back, but is she really? 3 months after her miraculous return, Silo 18 has a new mayor, and she doesn't recognize the faces around her, the laws she swore to uphold, or the secrets that nearly got her killed. The question haunting everyone is, what happened to her out there? And if she can't remember her past, can she really lead her people forward? Welcome back, everyone. Today we're breaking down the highly anticipated Season 3 premiere of Silo, Episode 1, titled, Who Are You? This is the episode we've been waiting for since the explosive Season 2 finale. Juliette Nichols did the impossibles. She walked outside, survived the toxic atmosphere, and returned to Silo 18. But the woman who came back isn't the same one who left. 3 months have passed. Juliette is now the newly appointed mayor, but she's suffering from severe memory loss, struggling to piece together fragments of her past while navigating a bunker on the brink of collapse. Let's break it all down. Before we dive into Episode 1, let's quickly recap where we left off at the end of Season 2. Juliette Nichols was sent outside for a cleaning, the ritual where Silo residents are forced to go out into the toxic, deadly world beyond the bunker. But unlike everyone who came before her, Juliette didn't die. She survived. She discovered the truth about what lies beyond the silo's walls. She saw the world for what it really is, a wasteland, but not necessarily the death sentence she'd been taught to believe. Her survival sent shockwaves through every level of the silo. It challenged everything the residents thought they knew about their world. It exposed the lies the authorities had been telling for generations. And it made Juliette a hero to some and a threat to others. Now, 3 months later, she's back inside, but the Juliette who returned is a shadow of the woman who left. The episode opens with Juliette's return to Silo 18. It should be a moment of triumph. The woman who defied death, who walked outside and lived to tell the tale, is coming home. But there's no celebration, no hero's welcome. Instead, there's confusion, fear, and a haunting emptiness in Juliette's eyes. She survived the cleaning, but the experience left its mark. The toxic environment, the sheer trauma of what she witnessed, the psychological toll of being the only person to survive. It's all taken a devastating toll on her mind. She doesn't remember the faces of the people who risked everything to save her. She doesn't recognize the corridors she once navigated with confidence. She doesn't recall the secrets she uncovered or the enemies she made. Juliette Nichols has returned to the silo. But the woman who came back is, in many ways, a stranger. Juliette's new role as mayor is both a reward and a punishment. She was appointed to lead the silo because of her courage, her determination, and her connection to the people. She's the symbol of resistance against the oppressive authorities who kept everyone in the dark. But how can she lead when she can't remember the struggles of those she's supposed to represent? The episode forces us to confront this heartbreaking irony. Juliette is surrounded by advisors, allies, and constituents who look to her for guidance. They expect her to be the same fierce, uncompromising leader who defied death itself. But she can't remember the alliances she forged. She can't remember the promises she made. She can't remember the betrayals that nearly destroyed her. And in a place like the silo, memory is survival. Forgetting isn't just a personal tragedy, it's a political liability. While Juliette struggles with her memory, the silo itself is falling apart. 3 months after the events of the Season 2 finale, the factions are at each other's throats. There's the mechanical faction, the workers who power the silo, who see Juliette as their champions, and they're the ones who believed in her when no one else did. There's the IT faction, the technocrats, who control information and access to the outside world. They've been the gatekeepers of the silo's secrets for generations. And there are the residents of the down deep, the forgotten lower levels who have been ignored and exploited by those in power. These factions have been simmering with tension for months. And with Juliette's weakened state, the fragile peace she helped create is threatening to shatter. The question is, can Juliette hold them together? Or will her memory loss become a weapon that her enemies use to tear everything apart? One of the central mysteries of Who Are You is the question of what actually happened to Juliette out there. She survived the cleaning, that much we know, but what did she see? What did she experience? And why is she struggling to remember? There are several possibilities being explored in this episode. The toxic atmosphere. The air outside is supposed to be deadly. Juliette's exposure to it might have caused neurological damage that's affecting her memory. The trauma, the psychological toll of what she witnessed, the vast emptiness of the world. The truth about the silo's origins might have been so overwhelming that her mind is blocking it out as a defense mechanism. The secrets. What if Juliette learned something outside that she's not supposed to remember? What if her memory loss isn't accidental but intentional, a result of some kind of intervention by forces who don't want her to share what she knows? The episode leaves these questions tantalizingly open. And as viewers, we're left wondering along with Juliette, what's real, what's lost, and what's been deliberately taken from her? The title of the episode, Who Are You?, is a question Juliette is asking herself just as much as others are asking it. Throughout the episode, we see her desperately trying to piece together fragments of her past. She finds objects that should trigger memories. She meets people who should be familiar. She revisits places that should feel like home. And sometimes the memories come back in flashes, a familiar face, a forgotten conversation, a glimpse of something just out of reach. But then they're gone again, like trying to hold on to water slipping through her fingers. The episode uses these moments to build emotional tension. Every time Juliette remembers something, we feel hopeful. And every time the memory slips away, we feel her devastation. This isn't just about solving a mystery. It's about Juliette's fundamental struggle to hold on to her own identity. Juliette's memory loss isn't just a personal challenge. It's a political crisis. Her enemies are circling. The authorities who once controlled the silo are still in power. They're just waiting for her to make a mistake, to show weakness, to prove that she's not fit to lead. And with her memory in shambles, she's giving them plenty of ammunition. In one scene, Juliette is confronted by a faction leader who demands to know if she remembers the promise she made to protect the down deep residents. She hesitates. She can't remember. And in that hesitation, she loses credibility. In another scene, she's presented with an enemy who betrayed her, and she doesn't even recognize the face. She's forced to take someone else's word for it that this person is dangerous. The irony is devastating. Juliette fought so hard to become a leader, to bring truth and justice to the silo. But now that she has power, she can't remember why she wanted it in the first place. With her memory failing, Juliette has to rely on others more than ever. But who can she trust? In Season 2, Juliette had a small circle of loyal allies, people who believed in her, who risked everything to help her survive. But now, with her memory loss, she can't always remember who they are or why they supported her. This creates a dynamic of vulnerability and suspicion. Juliette's allies are trying to help her, but she can't fully trust them because she can't fully remember them. And her enemies are perfectly positioned to exploit this. They can pretend to be allies. They can spread false information. They can manipulate her fragmented memories to serve their own agendas. The emotional tension in this episode comes from watching Juliette navigate a world where she can't trust her own mind and where everyone around her seems to have their own agenda. One of the things that makes Silo so compelling is the wider world beyond Silo 18. The Season 2 finale hinted at a network of bunkers, each with its own secrets, its own politics, and its own connection to the mysterious founders. Who Are You? Continues to explore that broader mystery. There are hints in this episode that other silos are experiencing their own turmoil. There are whispers of rebellions, of betrayals, of secrets being uncovered. And there are hints that Juliette's memory loss might be connected to something bigger than just her own personal trauma. Could the cleaning process have an effect on memory? Are other survivors experiencing similar symptoms? And is there a reason why the founders designed the system to erase the memories of those who ventured outside? These are the questions that the season premiere is planting in our minds, and they're questions that will likely take the entire season to answer. One of the things that Silo does better than almost any other show is its visual storytelling. The bunker itself feels like a character, claustrophobic, oppressive, and beautiful in its brutal functionality. Who are you? Continues that tradition. The episode is shot in the same muted industrial palette that fans have come to love. The corridors are narrow, the lighting is dim. The weight of the silo, the weight of its history, its secrets, its lies, feels almost tangible. But there's also something different about this episode. The colors are a little warmer. The shadows aren't quite as deep. There are moments of openness, moments of light, moments that feel almost hopeful. It's as if Juliette's return, even with all the challenges it brings, has introduced a new energy into the bunker. That's not a possibility, but that possibility is fragile. And the episode never lets us forget that it could disappear at any moment. It's impossible to talk about Who Are You without talking about Rebecca Ferguson's performance as Juliette Nichols. Ferguson has always been the heart of this show. She brings a toughness and vulnerability to Juliette that makes her one of the most compelling characters on television. But in this episode, she takes it to a whole new level. Playing a character with memory loss is an incredible challenge. She has to convey confusion, frustration, and fear, all while maintaining Juliette's core strength and determination. There are moments in this episode where we see Juliette's old fire, her stubborn refusal to give up, her instinct to fight. And there are moments where we see her completely lost, a woman who doesn't know who she is or how she got there. Ferguson navigates these extremes with stunning grace. It's a performance that will likely earn her another round of awards attention. Early reactions to the Season 3 premiere have been overwhelmingly positive. Fans have praised the episode for its emotional depth, its suspenseful pacing, and its willingness to take risks with such a beloved character. Viewers have expressed shock at Juliette's condition. Many were expecting her return to be a triumphant moment, and it is, in some ways. But the show has subverted expectations by making her return bittersweet and complicated. The memory loss storyline has been particularly well received. Fans appreciate that the show isn't taking the easy path. Juliette isn't just returning to her old life. She's having to rebuild it from scratch. There's also been a lot of speculation about the broader mysteries introduced in the episode. What happened to Juliette outside? Are there other survivors? And what does the future hold for Silo 18? Who are you? Sets up what promises to be the most ambitious season of Silo yet. The season will likely explore the following threads: Juliette's struggle to recover her memory and lead the Silo, the fracturing factions and the threat of civil war, the mystery of what happened outside and how it connects to the founders, the fate of other silos and their connection to Silo 18, the ongoing battle for truth and justice in a world built on lies. If the premiere is any indication, Season 3 is going to be an emotional, suspenseful, and thought-provoking ride. Who Are You is a stunning start to the third season of Silo. It takes the show in bold, new directions while staying true to everything that made it so compelling in the first place. Juliette Nichols is back, but the woman who returned is a mystery even to herself. Her fight to reclaim her memory, her identity, and her purpose is the emotional core of this premiere. And as always, the show leaves us with more questions than answers. What happened to Juliette outside? Can she really trust anyone around her? And is the silo doomed to repeat its cycle of lies and control? What do you think will happen next? Will Juliette recover her memories? Can she hold the silo together? And what secrets did she discover outside that she's forgotten? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates.